Tao means how things happen, how things work. Tao is the single principle underlying all creation. Tao is God. Tao cannot be defined because it applies to everything. You cannot define something in terms of itself. Tao is a principle, creation is a process. That is all there is, principle and process, how and what. All creation unfolds according to Tao. There is no other way. Tao cannot be defined, but Tao can be known. The method is meditation, or being aware of what is happening. To become aware of what is happening, you must pay attention with an open mind. You must set aside your personal prejudices. Prejudiced people see only what fits those prejudices. The method of meditation works because principle and process are inseparable. All process reveals the underlying principle. This means that you can know Tao. You can know God. By knowing Tao, you know how things happen. All behavior consists of opposites or polarities. If you do anything more and more, its polarity will appear. For example, striving to be beautiful makes a person ugly, and trying too hard to be kind is a form of selfishness. Any overdetermined behavior produces its opposite. An obsession with living suggests worry about dying. True simplicity is not easy. The braggart probably feels small and insecure. The wise leader does not push to make things happen, but allows process to unfold of its own. The leader teaches by example rather than by lecturing others on how they ought to be. The leader does not insist that things come out in a certain way. The wise leader does not seek a lot of money or a lot of praise. Nevertheless, there is plenty of both. The wise leader does not make a show of holiness or pass out grades for good performance. That would create a climate of success and failure. Emphasizing material success yields the same results. Those who have a lot become greedy, and those who have little become thieves. When you reinforce appearances, people scramble to please. The wise leader pays respectful attention to all behavior. Thus, the group becomes open to more and more kinds of behavior. People learn a great deal when they're open to everything, and not just figuring out what pleases the teacher. The leader shows that style is no substitute for substance, and that creating an impression is not as potent as acting for yourself. No matter how deep you dig, you'll never come to a thing called Tao or God. Tao is not a thing. Tao is a principle or law. Tao means how. All things behave according to Tao, but Tao does not behave. Tao is never an object or a process. Tao is the law of all things, of all events. Tao is the common ground of all creation. Natural law is blind, and its justice is even-handed. The consequences of your behavior are inescapable. Being human is no excuse. The wise leader doesn't try to protect people from themselves. The light of awareness shines equally on what is pleasant and on what is not pleasant. People are not better than the rest of creation. The same principle which underlies human beings underlies everything equally. Neither is one person or one people better than the rest of humanity. The same principle is everywhere. One person is as worthy as the next. The leader knows this and does not pretend to be special. The leader doesn't gossip about others or waste breath arguing the merits of competing theories. Silence is a great source of strength. Can you learn to become open and receptive, quiet and without desires or the need to do something? Being open and receptive is called yin, the feminine, or the valley. Imagine that there is a pond in this valley. When no fears or desires stir the surface of the pond, the water forms a perfect mirror. In this mirror, you can see the reflection of Tao. You can see God, and you can see creation. Go into the valley, be still, and watch the pond. Go as often as you wish. Your silence will grow. The pond will never run dry. True self-interest teaches selflessness. Heaven and earth endure because they are not simply selfish, but exist on behalf of all creation. Knowing this, the wise leader keeps egocentricity in check and becomes even more effective. The leader grows more and lasts longer by placing the well-being of the group above the well-being of the self. Here is a paradox. By being selfless, the leader enhances the self. The wise leader is like water. Consider water. Water cleanses and refreshes all creatures without distinction and without judgment. Water freely and endlessly goes deep beneath the surface of things. Water is fluid and responsive. Now consider the leader. The leader works in any setting without complaint, with any person or issue that comes on the floor. The leader acts so that everyone will benefit and serves well regardless of the rate of pay. The leader speaks simply and honestly and intervenes in order to shed light and create harmony. Like water, the leader is yielding. Because the leader does not push, the group does not resent or resist. A good group is better than a spectacular group. When leaders become superstars, the teacher outshines the teaching. The wise leader settles for good work and then lets others have the floor. The leader doesn't take all the credit for what happens and has no need for fame. Pay attention to silence. What is happening when nothing is happening in a group? That is the group field. 13 people sit in a circle, but it's the spirit in the center of the circle where nothing is happening that determines the nature of the group field. The silences and empty spaces reveal the group's essential mood, the context for everything that happens. This is the group field. Learn to see emptiness. It's the same with a vase or a pot. Learn to see the emptiness inside, which is the usefulness of it. Endless drama in a group clouds consciousness. Too much noise overwhelms the senses. Continual input obscures genuine insight. Do not substitute sensationalism for learning. Allow regular time for silent reflection. Let the senses rest and grow still. Teach people to let go of their superficial mental chatter and obsessions. Teach people to pay attention to the whole body's reaction to a situation. If you measure success in terms of praise and criticism, your anxiety will be endless. Having a good reputation or becoming well known for your work can be a hindrance to your further development. Fame is as burdensome as caring for yourself properly. What is the problem with praise and criticism? If the group applauds one thing you do, and then you feel good, you'll worry if they don't applaud as loudly the next time. If they're critical, you'll feel hurt. Either way, you're anxious and dependent. How can a good reputation be a hindrance? A good reputation naturally arises from doing good work. But if you try to preserve your reputation, you lose the freedom and honesty necessary for further development. How is fame like caring for yourself? In order to do good work, you must take good care of yourself. You must value yourself and allow others to value you. But if you make too much of yourself, you will become egocentric. Egocentricity injures both self and work. If you can live with the fruits of success and care for yourself properly, you will be able to foster success in other people. When you can't see what's happening in a group, don't stare harder. Relax and look gently with your inner eye. When you don't understand what a person is saying, don't grasp for every word. Become silent inside and listen with your deepest self. When you are puzzled by what you see or hear, don't strive to figure things out. Stand back and become calm. When a person is calm, complex events appear simple. To know what is happening, be aware. See without staring. Listen quietly rather than listen hard. Use intuition and reflection rather than try to figure things out. The more you can let go of trying and the more open and receptive you become, the more easily you will know what is happening. Also, stay in the present. The present is good. Reflect Be still. Ask yourself, what do I deeply feel? Trying too hard produces unexpected results. The flashy leader lacks stability. Trying to rush matters gets you nowhere. Trying to appear brilliant is not enlightened. Insecure leaders try to promote themselves. Impotent leaders capitalize on their positions.